Welcome back to the Fermented Homestead. Today I'm going to bring you along while I do a bit of an experiment. I have this kombucha that has been sitting in the corner of my living room for probably about the last 6 months. I haven't done anything with it, and I'm just curious to see if it can still make kombucha. So I thought I'd bring you along in case maybe you have some kombucha that you have forgotten about and don't want to start from scratch. So come along. So, as you can see, there's no mold or anything funky growing on top. It has quite a good amount of scobies inside of it. And a fair amount of yeast at the bottom. Some strings going on. Pretty cool. The first step in making kombucha is to bring your water to a boil, which I've already done here. And then we're going to add the sugar to it. And stir it up until it gets all dissolved in there. My new container is a 3-gallon jar. So I'm going to make a 2-gallon batch for the first time around. So I have the water all dissolved, I have the sugar all dissolved in here. So there we go. It's 2 cups of sugar and I have 1 gallon of water boiling. And then I take 16 tea bags, it's 8 per gallon, and put it in there. And I just kind of let it sit there. And it's going to steep for probably about 15 to 20 minutes. And then I will bring you back when we're there. The sweet tea has been sitting here for about 20 minutes, steeping, and now it's time to fish out all of those tea bags. And this right here is why I tie them all together. It makes it a lot easier. Normally I use loose leaf tea, but I just happen to have a big box of organic black tea and I'm using that. So there we go. And now we're going to add in the other gallon. Right now the sweet tea is at about 110 degrees. So we're going to leave it to set on the counter uncovered so the heat can escape. And we're just going to leave it be, get some other stuff done around the house, and I'll bring you guys back when it's at room temperature. Our sweet tea mixture has finally come down to room temperature and now we can use it. So the first step is going to be fishing out the SCOBY from inside of here, and we're going to transfer it to a clean plate, and then I'm going to pour off all of the kombucha that's inside of here into half-gallon jars. It's become quite a pungent vinegar at this point, so I know that there are purposes that you can use it for, but I just don't know what they are, so I'm going to set it aside for a little while and see if I can come up with anything that I want to use it for, just in case. So, first thing, we're going to unmask it. Alright. It is definitely potent. So, clean hands. And gross. Okay. It's a good SCOBY. And I'm not sure how much it really matters, but I'm always told that you want to keep upside up. That's the newest SCOBY. It's the little baby SCOBY. And the rest of the SCOBYs that are in here, let it drain a little bit. These ones are going to go into the compost. You can see they're definitely different. So there we go. They are slippery. All right. Set these aside. I'm going to touch them as little as you possibly can because you don't want to risk contaminating them. So, there we go. Well, I do have a spigot. So, I know that with kombucha you need at 1 to 2 cups of leftover kombucha per gallon. So since this stuff is pretty old, I'm going to go on the high side and do 2 cups for each one. If I can get it to come out. That's the bad side about these little spigots. They always get clogged. Yep, that's not gonna work. So we're just gonna have to pour it off. Okay, let's get these out of the one at a time. They're hefty. Now for the new jumbo jar. Okay. So first thing, I'm gonna go ahead and pour in our mixture. Okay. Here's the starter tea. This without spilling it. So, got our big thing. You don't want to try and pour it when it's so full. There we go. Okay, next step is taking the kombucha SCOBY, putting it back in here. But I want to be super careful, so I'm going to go and wash my hands first. Okay, hands are clean. So now we're going to take the SCOBY, just in case you want to see it up close. Here we go. You just put it in there. Sometimes it'll float, sometimes it'll sink. There we go. So then all we're going to do with this now is I'm just going to cover it with the kombucha cloth and rubber band around the edges to keep any little things out that could be in there. And hopefully in 2 weeks we will have some kombucha, and I will bring you back then to finish off the video and let you know how everything went. There's the kombucha after about, it's been 5 days. You can see the original SCOBY is just up and down. Lots of bubbles under there. And a clean top. Nothing icky on it. So here is the kombucha. You can see it's got lots of bubbles on it right over here. And this is this old SCOBY that finally surfaced. It was just up and down, but it surfaced. Got quite a bit of yeast going on here. The next step in our Save the SCOBY experiment is to bottle up the kombucha with some fruit juice in it so it can do a second fermentation and get all bubbly and amazing tasting. So we're going to be using this juice. It has pomegranate, cherry, and strawberry. It says it's 100% fruit juice smoothie. It's totally not. It has other ingredients, but I read the label and I'm okay with them. So we're gonna take this. These are roughly 16-ounce bottles. They fit more than 16 ounce, but I only fill it up to about here on the start of the neck, and that is a little under 16 ounces. So we're gonna use 1/3 of a cup of this juice in each bottle. Okay, so we have the juice. I'm starting out with 10 bottles. I think that's about what I'm gonna need, but we will see. And I have this tap on the kombucha. I don't know if you can see that, but I have a tap on there. So all I'm gonna do, in the beginning I tried doing the tap just directly into the bottle, and that totally didn't work. So the funnel is definitely necessary. Let's see what we get. Whoa, this tap is awesome. There we go. Let's see if we can get you at a better angle here. This is about the only angle that I could find that would work, so hopefully it works. You can hear it fizzing in there. It's a good sign. Here we have the kombucha all bottled up. It's got a bunch of foam on top of each one. So I'm gonna go through and let them settle and top them all off, and then I'll bring you back for the next part. So we have the kombucha all bottled up and capped off. So the next step is gonna be to put the sweet tea mixture into the container. And I found it much easier or much better to put it in there slowly. Usually if I pour it in there really quick, then the SCOBY just does all kinds of weird stuff and flips all around, and I just don't like that. So I'm just gonna slowly pour it in, which is hard to do in this huge pot. So I'm just gonna use this. Wow. That's full. You can see in the bottle there's tons and tons and tons of bubbles, so I'm pretty hopeful for this one. We'll see how it actually turns out. But what we're going to do is we're going to put the kombucha bottles also in a nice, cool, dark place and let it go. Well, not cool, room temperature place. We're going to cover it up so no light gets through to it, and I'm going to start checking them in about 2 days. And the way I check them is I just flip the top and see how much carbonation is in there. It looks like there's going to be a lot, so I probably won't let this go for too long, and I'll bring you back for a taste test. We'll see how bubbly it actually is. All right, so today is the day. We are going to open up the kombucha. Fair amount of bubbles. All you can see. It's definitely kombucha. This is actually almost the last one in the 12 that we did. We were drinking on it for a little while, and my husband actually found that he liked it. He doesn't like pretty much anything fermented. He likes water kefir, and apparently this kind of kombucha. He hasn't liked any of the kombuchas that I've made in the past, but he enjoys this one. So I am currently on day 4 of the GAPS diet, so I can't actually have this. So he is going to go ahead and drink it, but I can assure you it's definitely delicious, and you can see it's definitely bubbly. So I don't know if this is necessarily as strong as a regular kombucha, but it's got bubbles to it, and it's definitely fermenting. It's creating lots of scobies, and it's just doing what kombucha should be doing. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and you can see that I mean, I doubt you'll ever let it go as long as I did, about 6 months, but you can definitely revive a SCOBY and it'll be just fine. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.